Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you had not had the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at justsayingwjs for article and video updates. Last night was May 12th, one of the best days of the year because the schedule was released to us. We now know the dates, the times, the weeks of every single NFL team. And let's just jump right into some revenge games for the 2021 season, Jack. What do you got for us starting?
We're going off. We're going to start with the Panthers hosting the Jets. We got Zach Wilson, the new Jets quarterback, and Sam Darnold, the new Panthers quarterback, formerly on the Jets. You know, these guys right now are just going to go off. They're doing their thing. I'm excited to see this Panthers team in this light, get Christian McCaffrey back. How are you feeling about this one?
I'm liking it right off the bat. You know, week one, you get to see the old quarterback for the Jets that was traded facing off against the new quarterback for the Jets. You also got Robbie Anderson on the Panthers, a former Jet who was let go in free agency last year. We saw what he did for the Panthers. Jets were definitely missing that last year. This is a big game, I think. If you're Sam Darnold, you kind of want to show the Jets front office, like, this is what you're missing out on. And if you're Zach Wilson, you're the number 2 overall pick. You're playing against the former quarterback, the guy who you replaced. Yeah. You got to go out and show why you were taking number 2. There's a lot of implications for this game. I'm also really excited to see what this Panthers offense is going to do. Like you mentioned, coming back fully healthy. You think he's going to be able to you think it's like a friendly first matchup for him coming off this injury?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely, it's definitely not, I wouldn't say friendly. I think that him and the Jets, and I think Robbie Anderson and the Jets, like this revenge style here, it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be too friendly. You know, they were both people that were keys to success in a very unsuccessful team. So, I mean, on the scale, I wouldn't say it's too big, but I know Sam Darnold is looking to prove a lot of people wrong with this one.
Absolutely. Let's move it on, man. Mm-hmm. Week 7. Houston Texans are heading to Arizona Cardinals. Now, there are 2 players from the Texans that were on the Texans that are now on the Cardinals. Someone named DeAndre Hopkins, who I think is good at his job. I don't know. And another guy named J.J. Watt. Oh. Don't know if he's good either.
One of the best.
They're playing against their former teams. I mean, Hopkins was traded for nothing.
Nothing. Bag of chips, second-round pick. And then J.J. Watt able to sign, he was released by the Texans. Like you said, we got a double-decker revenge game with this one on both sides of the ball. If you don't think that whoever's going to be playing, quarterback for the Texans is not in trouble, they are. J.J. Watt's going to be coming all day. And that Texans team's looking weak right now. Not some team that, wants to have to face DeAndre Hopkins or Kyler Murray, this team. I'm really loving the revenge here. We've been talking about the Texans and this just downfall of them this whole time with, DeAndre and, with JJ. I'm excited for this one, honestly.
No, absolutely. I think it's going to be a great one. JJ Watt hasn't had a double-digit sack season since 2019. That's been missed. I think he's going to have a monster game. I think he's going to come into this game pissed. I think he's going to show us that he's like back to this 27-year-old form, just absolutely dominating. The best part is he has Chandler Jones to work with. These guys lead the NFL in sacks, I think, since they've entered in like 2011. So these are your 1 and 2 guys when it comes to getting after the quarterback. I feel bad for Davis Mills, Tyrod Taylor, Deshaun Watson, whoever is going to be that starting quarterback. I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to have a day. He's looking for over 100 yards.
Oh, yeah.
J.J. Watt's looking for 2 sacks. They're coming after this Texans team, and they're coming at him with, like, just complete revenge.
Absolutely. I mean, and J.J. Watt wanted that leave, but he's coming back. I'm ready for this one. The next one we can talk about, there's another interesting trade here from this offseason, why it's a revenge. We got the, Los Angeles Rams hosting the Detroit Lions, different teams going into this season, but Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff traded for each other. They got to play each other the same week 7. How are you feeling about that game?
I love this one. It's not often you see first round quarterbacks get traded from team to team the way that it is, or the amount of assets that the Lions are able to get for Matthew Stafford. It's not very often you have that. So then to have these quarterbacks swap teams, and I think Stafford really won the trade. He's going to arguably the best team he's ever had, both on the offense and the defense. Now he gets to go back to Detroit. And I feel like this is more of a revenge game for Jared Goff. I feel like Stafford gave the Lions everything that he could, and the Lions said, you know what? we're bringing a whole new front office, bringing a new coach. It's time that you go and actually win your career while we start anew. It's not fair to you. So I really respect what the Lions did when you get like 2 first-round picks.
Yeah,
You're
you
also
can't
pretty
turn it
happy.
down.
But if you're Jared Goff, they lost that Packers game, and the first report that came out was that the relationship between Jared Goff and Sean McVay has been broken. The marriage is off. They don't love each other anymore. A month later, Goff is gone. So Jared, you're facing your former team. You know this defense. You practiced against them for 4 years. Jared Goff, revenge game for you, man. This is a huge opportunity for for an away game coming in week 7. You got to go out and show maybe why this Rams team is missing you. And I think if you're Matthew Stafford, it's a revenge game in the sense of it's just nice to beat up your former team that didn't give you a lot to work with. But really, this is all Goff this game. All eyes need to be on him and what he does. And, if he plays poorly, it's going to be a lot of news saying, man, that trade for Stafford was great. Man, that trade was brilliant. Look at McVay. It was genius. And I don't think Goff wants to hear that.
No, definitely. And like you said, the assets there, it's not a revenge game for Stafford, but this is big pressure. He's going up against his former team. They're a little bit weaker. I expect big things from him, especially with the fact, like you said, this could be the best offense he's ever been a part of. And he was part of the offenses with Calvin Johnson. They just didn't have support around him. Now he's got Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Cam Akers in the run game. I love it. And the scheme, you've talked about it earlier this week, not on camera, but just the scheme that he's being put into. I love that. But Goff, this is definitely a big time for him to step up. He's playing his former team. They had the number 1 defense last year. I'm sure that they will not fall out of the top 5 or at least top 10 this year with the talent that they have on that defense. He needs to do that. They maybe, have gotten these 2 picks, but one of those picks could be for his replacement. Stafford is at the point now where he understands what this team's given up. He's got the chip on his shoulder, and he's going to go out and try to use all these weapons against his former team. I just think he's got to do it.
Yeah, Rams are in a great spot, I think, with Stafford to really contend for a championship this year. So I would not be sleeping on the Rams. Moving on, AFC Championship rematch in Week 5. Buffalo Bills heading back to Kansas City to face the Chiefs. Buffalo doubled down on the defense, man. First 2 picks, edge rushers. I think they're saying we're coming after Mahomes. We're coming after this Chiefs team. I'm looking forward to this one, man. You got Diggs and Beasley now healthy. We saw reports this week that they both had injuries. What was it? I think Beasley broke his ankle and
he broke his leg and
Diggs had an oblique tear.
In the playoffs.
In the playoffs, man.
Cole Beaslly going full on Terrell Owens in the playoffs, not telling anybody about it, just shows how much they really wanted it last year. And, this was a team that, last season we were even saying they are going to have to get to the playoffs. And now that they have, and they've established that they can make that run, they've established that Allen is their guy. They have Diggs there. They have the defense, like you said. This is a big test. You got to go up against Pat Mahomes, this Chiefs team that made it all the way to the Super Bowl. Even though they lost, they were the best team in the AFC by far last year. They went 14-2. If there's one team that you have to, as the Bills, come back and try to defeat this regular season, it's got to be the Chiefs. It's got to be, you set the tone for the playoffs.
Absolutely. And, they actually faced the Chiefs twice last year. They lost in the regular season at home, Buffalo, and then they lost in the playoffs. So you win this game. I think what you're going to start to say about the Bills, that they've taken that next step. We saw them win the AFC East. We saw them win in the playoffs against some big teams, including the Ravens and the Colts. Definitely. Almost had it against the Chiefs. And I think, you're able to beat the Chiefs in the regular season in an away game. All of a sudden, we're going to be talking about the Bills are they that top team in the AFC all of a sudden if they're able to beat the Chiefs?
Yeah.
They become, they take that next step, which is, can you beat the team that knocked you out of the playoffs? And that's huge for them. I think that's awesome. I'm rooting for the Bills this year. I'm liking where the route that they are taking possibly to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, oh my God. They could definitely be a Super Bowl pick, but I think that they do got to get through Kansas City. Beating them in the regular season is going to definitely be the test. There's another little team that has snuck their way into the AFC playoffs, and they're playing another team that went to the playoffs but may as well have not, and that's the Browns and the Steelers. They're playing each other twice, week 7, week 17. How are you feeling about this one? After the embarrassing loss for the Steelers last time out, the Steelers are kind of in a downtrend. The Browns are a little bit up. Browns, this is their time to get their revenge on Roethlisberger while they have the chance.
I can't remember the last time that the Browns were, with the exception of last year, close to winning
Yeah.
AFC North. And this year they have a great opportunity
Great shot.
to do so. I think that the Steelers are on the decline. We saw Marquise Pouncey retire. Andrew Villanueva is now on the Ravens. There's a huge string of that offensive line missing for the Steelers. While that defense is great, the Browns decided, what we need to do with our defense is that we need to double down on it. They signed Jadeveon Clowney, which he didn't play great last year. He only played a handful of games, but having him and Myles Garrett, that's going to be a really nice combo coming off the edge. Then they get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in the second round. He falls all the way down to the second round to shore up that front seven. And they get Greg Newsome to work alongside Denzel Ward. And they sign the free agent safety out of the Rams.
John Johnson.
John Johnson the third.
Yeah.
This defense is legit, and we saw what their offense could already do. They got a great line. They got the quarterback. They got the 2 running backs. They got the 2 wide receivers. They got the 1 tight end. This team is ready. This Browns team is primed. I think that they're saying, we got to double down on the defense after what happened to the Chiefs. But I think if I'm the Steelers, man, it was nice to blow them out 38-7 week 1 of 2020. But I think the Steelers are on decline. I think the Browns are saying, are we going to sweep the Steelers this year?
Yeah.
I think, and I'm ready for it, man. Browns are hype. Browns are ready. And I think if you're the Steelers and you're the Steelers fans, you're not looking forward to that game against the Browns. I think they're coming in hungry. I think they're coming in a lot better than they were in 2020. They got the head coach. They're set. It's no more the Browns are the worst team in the NFL. You can't really make any more Browns jokes. They've established themselves, I think, as one of the top contenders in the AFC, and I don't think the Steelers are there anymore, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be one of those things where, there's like a bully one year, and then you get your growth spurt over the summer, and you come back in the next year of school, and then you're not bullied anymore because, you're twice the guy. So that's how the Browns are this year. Like you said, they just got better, and they have all of the tools. This has to be revenge. The fact that, they've suffered for so long, with just dealing with this division getting heavy, they've put themselves in a great position to get revenge on the Steelers this year. Yeah. Absolutely.
They're ready for it. And speaking of the Browns and revenge games, their week 1 matchup, they're going back to Kansas City
they are.
to play the Chiefs, who they lost to in the divisional of the playoffs. But it wasn't Patty Mahomes that destroyed them. It was a little known backup quarterback by the name of Matt Moore. Because Patrick Mahomes got injured this game. So we got a double revenge game, man. Browns got knocked out by the Chiefs, but the Browns injured Mahomes for the playoffs, man. He was injured, they said. He had the toe surgery, he had the foot surgery. I don't know if I want to be the Browns defense with an angry, revengeful Patrick Mahomes.
No, I definitely don't. And like we said, they're loaded up. But like we talked about the Bills before, with the loss in the playoffs, they have that chip on their shoulder to come back this year stronger, try to beat them. It's just tough. The AFC is going to roll through Kansas City this year, and the Browns are another team, like the Bills, that need to make a statement playing Kansas City. They need to be able to, find the weak points. And, they were able to, both these teams, make great offseasons. Kansas City's line is more protective because, the Bills, the Browns, more competitive teams are getting better up front on the defense. And week 1, this is an absolutely fantastic matchup for them to kick off the season.
I think if you're the Browns or the Chiefs in this game and you're able to have a solid game and really kind of set the tone for the season, you're going to be riding high off this. And if you're the Browns and you get a week 1 win against, the AFC Championship winners, the team that beat you, I think that the Browns are going to be riding into the season with just so much excitement that, if you're the Chiefs, you want to try to squash that early on. But moving on to week 2, my Minnesota Vikings are hosting the Seahawks. Now, Jack, we've played them 8 times in 9 years, including a playoff game, and we have lost all 8 of them. We haven't won a game against Seattle since 2009.
Wow.
Can my Vikings flip the script for the first time and get a nice revenge win?
I think that they can because, Seattle has the weak points where, the Vikings are the best. Up front on their offensive line, they struggle to protect Russell Wilson. The Vikings' best place to, attack is their defensive line right up front. And they have, Danielle Hunter coming back full on, Anthony Barr. You have Eric Kendricks running the man in the run game, containing somebody like Russell Wilson running around. I think that that's a fantastic, matchup for you guys here. And I think on the offense, your roster has now bolstered itself enough where they're going to have to account for every one of those weapons. And Seattle did not play well defensively last year. They really struggled in a lot of big games. And I think that Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson are going to give them an incredibly hard time.
Yeah, I would love that. Honestly, they had the Vikings Seahawks game on a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't even watch that minute drive that Russell Wilson had. It was like 4th and 20, and of course they get like a 40-yard bomb to DK Metcalf. I think that this game is going to be on Cook. I just want to put that out there now. The last 2 times we played them, Cook got a shoulder injury, was out for both games after really setting the tone for the Vikings offense. And Alexander Mattison is a great RB2. Love having him on my team, but Cook is on that different level, and you saw it when we went for it on a 4th and 1. Cook probably would have done a quick jump out and hit that hole. Madison's more of the downhill running back, didn't get to do that, and that's what ended up making us lose the game.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that my Vikings can pull off a surprise win against Seattle. That would be really nice for my confidence, considering we have the 5th hardest schedule this season. But moving on, got the Dallas Cowboys taking on your Giants in week 6.
I mean,
Dak is a little angry. He broke his ankle.
He definitely is not happy that, he did it against us, and we'll have to suffer for that for a long time. Unfortunate. I'm happy he's back and that he's, going to be fully healthy. But, we get him here week 6. This is a prime spot. At that point, we've already played the Rams, Atlanta. We've played a couple of teams that, we're going to have to figure out on both sides of the ball. We're going to have to be able to outscore teams like you do with Dallas. You're going to have to be able to score on their defense and their pass rush. I really do like this opportunity here for Dak to, come back and have his revenge, on us. But it's also a revenge for the Giants, as, we haven't really been able to beat them per se.
Yeah, I think, I would love for the Giants to win. I think Dak's going to come in this one a little bit more upset than usual. I think he's a little bit pissed off that he broke his ankle. He's having a great start to his season before that week 4 injury. I think it's not going to look 100% great for the Giants defensively that game. I think they have the weapons. I think Zeke is looking a little bit better based on all the videos he's been posting on Instagram. He's looking like he's healthy. He's ready. He's ready to get back to work with Dak. I'm excited for that one. Yeah. But honestly, everyone listening, best game of the season. Everyone needs to circle it on their calendar.
Yep. Get it ready.
Little matchup in week 4. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are heading to the New England Patriots. Now, Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots, man, and he could become the 4th quarterback in NFL history to join Favre, Breeze, and Manning as the only player to beat all 32 NFL teams.
Incredible.
I am ready for this game. By far the best game of the season. He has a chance to break Breeze's record of most passing yards all time. Dude, I'm giddy. We're so far away from this game, and I am really, really giddy. I don't know how the fans are going to react. Is it going to be boos for Brady, or is it going to be cheers for Brady? How are the Minutemen on that field going to react?
How do you not cheer a guy, though, that, gives you 6 rings? I mean, he left on his own terms. People knew for years he was leaving. But I think that when he's there, we're getting a full-on, NBA pregame tribute video. 5, he's done a lot for that city and that franchise. However, though, on the field, that Patriots defense has not been talked about enough. We've been talking about how they're not talked about enough. They are going to make sure that they have the scheme to take him down. They know his way. He's going to be calling his own plays, his own little offensive scheme that he worked up with Arians. I think that Belichick is going to have to prove that, it's the Brady-Belichick argument. Who has more effect? We'll see it right there on the field. If Belichick has a game plan that can stop him, then boom, you're a move. But if Brady can come in there, win that, break the record on that night, like you said, just the thought of that is so insane to me. It's like you have this opportunity to add to already an incredible amount of greatness, but the chance of that would be insane.
Couldn't agree more. I think right before the game, you're going to see like a very brief conversation between Bill and Tom. I think that Bill's going to be very like, just because this is Tom doesn't mean that we handle the situation any other differently than if it was another team. But I think that the moment that's really going to set it in for me that this is the Tom Brady-less Patriots facing the Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers is when Brady runs down the sideline and does the whole cheer into the end zone, but he's going to be in full Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniform at Gillette Stadium. And I think that's going to be the moment where like it really hits in for everyone. Like he's back,
True,
but he's not in the Patriots uniform. I can't wait for that game. I think that is by far not only like the number one most revenge game of the season, but what could be the best game of the season because of what the historical implications that it has. It's the GOAT coming into the team that helped made him the GOAT. It's a lot, man. I think that's like, I'm ready for that one.
And I'm excited to see whoever the Patriots starting quarterback is, whether it's Mac Jones or Cam Newton at the helm, when they have to go up against this Buccaneers defense. You know, that's going to make it a little easier for Brady because when he has a good defense, we see what he can do. And you just look at all the talent that's going to be in this game. Like you said, this could be game of the year. There's just so much talent, so many former champions just like in this game. And the coaching, Arians versus Belichick, you honestly can't ask for much more, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a great one. I'm ready for all these revenge games, especially the Tampa Bay Patriots game. That's all the time that we have. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for listening. Hopefully everyone got to take a look at their team schedule, maybe picked out a few games that they are ready to go to. It's looking like teams are getting ready for full capacity. Hopefully we'll have a nice full capacity seasoned NFL, man. I'm ready for it.
I'm ready. We're going to be road trip. I'm ready to, hit some Giants games up. It's going to be a great season. And the revenge games make it that much sweeter. But thank you all for listening. Check us out, justsayingfootball.com, Just Saying Football on YouTube. Always like and subscribe. Check us out. And for all your updates, Just Saying no GWJS on Instagram for all your article and video updates. Thank you all for listening.
Enjoy.